Hey everybody, I'm Dave Walsh, and I'm going to come at you with a Lord of the Rings playthrough. You may know me as the host of Card Talk, but in this case I'm just going to play this game solo and playthrough. Now you'll probably notice that the art on the cards is a little bit different than what you're used to seeing. What I've done is bought the two-player collector's edition, and I've set up playing the first quest called the Oath. And the Oath is kind of an interesting quest because it's kind of designed to take the place. It's kind of like a tutorial, or at least that's what I'm imagining it to be. The story behind the Oath, if you want to know, is that you and your band of travelers is traveling from Dale to Rivendell, or maybe vice versa. And along the way, you meet a woodman, and the woodman is, in his last breath, saying, they killed the men and took the women and children, and they're talking about orcs and goblins and things like that. And so the heroes that we have take an oath to either rescue the women and children or avenge their death. And so, for this adventure, we have Lord Glorfindel. I have to remember, Lord Glorfindel still exists. But he's there, and then there's Bifur, and then there's a new hero that came out. There's actually two new heroes, but the new hero that came out that's part of this deck is Thorin Stonehelm. Now, Thorin Stonehelm has an ability that allows you to discard the topmost card after you declare him as an attacker, discard the topmost card of your deck, and then he deals 1 direct damage to any enemy engaged with you. So the idea here is this is a lore tactics deck, and it uses basically cards from the whole card pool in the deck. Now, I haven't looked at the deck. I don't know the mechanics of the deck. So it looks like it's going to be a little dwarfy, a little elfy, but it's lore and tactics, so it's going to be probably some healing, like Glorfindel, and probably a lot of attack. So I'm going to want to do that. And the other thing I haven't done is I haven't spoiled the quest. I haven't looked through any of the quest cards to find out what the heck is going on. All I've done really is shuffled the encounter deck and pulled out the Eves of Mirkwood and the Goblin Troop. Okay, because it says search the encounter deck for 1 copy of the Eves of Mirkwood, add the Eves of Mirkwood to the staging area, and then set the Goblin Troop aside out of play, and then shuffle the encounter deck. So I've done that. And so now 1B says nothing. It just says you swear an oath to the survivors that you will rescue the captives or bring justice to the goblins. I do have Albert Einstein with me to help me with the rules, because sometimes you need a Nobel Prize winning dude to help you. So in the collector's edition, they have the mini threat trackers, which are the new range. I actually like them. They fit really nicely inside a deck box. Notice it's the same size as the cards here. So it works really nicely for me. But I have one of the classic threat trackers here to keep track of my the threat in the staging area. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. And then I have my dice that I use as counters, and then I have some other things that are just out of play up here. So the other thing that came with the collector's edition is this nice playmat. You'll see it says collector's edition playmat. It's nice. Although I will say that this is the third playmat that I have that has the map of Middle-earth on it. So it's getting to be a little old. I can't wait to get another playmat. Anyways, so I'm going to do 6 cards. Okay, so I get Gandalf, Lembas, Quick Strike, Haldir of Lorien, the Horn of Gondor, and then Khazad. Okay, so here's what I'm looking at. For this hand, I have allies that are okay, that are really good. Let me rephrase that. But none of them are cheap. I have a good mix of lore and tactics cards, but I want some cheap allies. I don't even know if this deck has cheap allies, but I'm going to assume that it. I'm going to assume that it does. Here's to hoping. Now, from what I have read, and I haven't spoiled the quest, but this quest is supposed to take the place of, or to be more like a tutorial. So it's designed to be a little bit easier than some of the crazy quests that get released. Okay, so let's see here. I have a Feint. That's always good to have in my hand, and I have Moblung. Okay, Moblung is a card that I don't normally use, so we'll have to. Okay, and choose an enemy to get +5 engagement cost till the end of the round, then you may engage that enemy or return it to the staging area. Okay, well that's good. So a little bit of staging area fiddling. Gandalf, Legolas. Okay, that's good. Azane, Silverbeard, and the Minstrel. Ornament card and add it to your hand. Okay, so a little bit of hand dealing. So that's this. I have to take it, but I'm okay with this. Okay, so I'm going to give everybody a resource. I'm going to draw, and I get Daron's Runes. Okay, I like seeing Daron's Runes. The problem is I'm not sure which card I'm going to get rid of, but who knows? Okay. So I guess I'm not going to use Moblung because he targets an enemy. Actually, whatever. I'll use it. Okay. I need his questing. And I don't necessarily usually go in and out of the staging area. And then I'm, of course, going to use Daron's Runes to see what else I can get. So, let's see. Oh, I get Elrond, and I get Secret Paths. Secret Paths worries me because it doesn't contribute its threat. Location doesn't contribute its threat, so that makes me nervous that there's some high threat locations. But nonetheless, I'm going to get rid of that. So I'm keeping Elrond, keeping all these things. So this is how it's going to work. Okay, so I have this out. So now I'm done with my planning. I'm going to go into the questing phase. So I'm going to quest with Moblung, Glorfindel, and Bifur. I kind of want to raise my threat by 1 for questing with Glorfindel without the Light of Valinor on it, but that's not this one, so that's good. Okay, so questing for 7. Out here is 2 in the staging area, so I'm going to do 2, and now I'm going to draw a card. X is the number of locations in the staging area. Okay, so there's 2 locations in the staging area, and so that's 2, 4. And then I'm going, so that means I quested for 7, so that means I did 3. I'm going to go to the Eaves of Mirkwood, because that makes, this is a hard threat of 2, and this is now becomes a threat of 1. Okay, there's no engagement, no enemies, so I'm going to ready everybody. And we raise our threat by 1. Everybody gets a resource. And then, look at that, a quick strike. So that's a nice card to have. So let's, I guess, quest again, right? So there's no enemies out here. Plus I have a Feint in my hand just in case a big baddie comes out and I don't want to do something with it. So I'm going to go quest for 2, 3, and 2. 2, 3, 2 is 7. There's only 1 threat in the staging area. So, okay, so now I'm going to stage. And look, Driven by Shadow. This is an old familiar. When revealed, each enemy in each location currently in the staging area +1 until the end of phase. If there are no cards in the staging area, Driven by Shadow gauge surge. So that's about the least amount of harm that Driven by Shadow can do. There's only 1 location. So that means this does, this is 2. I did 7. That's 2, that's 5. So there's 3. 3 able to do down on the active quest. Okay, so when it says travel, each player must discard a random card from his hand to travel here. You know what? I don't think I need to worry about that. So I'm going to ready everybody, raise my threat, draw a card. Oh my gosh, the envoy. So that's good. Everybody gets a resource. Now, the envoy of Pelagir is great because when you play her, she's able to add 1 to a Gondor or a noble hero. So notice that Thorin Stonehelm is noble. So I'm going to put her down. I'm going to put 1. I'm going to play 1 and 1 of each of these. And I'm going to add 1 to Thorin. And that gives me the 4 that I can do to bring Legolas out. So now I'm really building up my board state pretty nicely here. Okay. And now I'm going to play the Minstrel. And so the Minstrel allows me to look at the top 5 cards and look for an event. I don't even have an event here, so that's what we call a whiff. I swung and I miss. Okay, so I don't know what even events there are in here. So, but when you do that, you have to shuffle your cards back. But now I have a chump blocker. So now let's commit to the quest. Okay, so I'm going to do Bifur and Glorfindel. Okay. And then I'm going to use Moblung, and then I'm going to use the Minstrel. Actually, I'm going to leave the Minstrel out. Yeah, no, I'll use the Minstrel. Okay. So that's 8. It's a lot. There's only 1 here, so 8. And so there's the Forest Gate, everybody's old friend. It says, after you travel the Forest Gate, first player may draw 2 cards. Well, isn't that special? Okay, so there's 2, 4, and I did 8, so this is quested through. So I'm going to put this up here out of play. And now, let's see what we have. So now this is the thing. I don't know what the heck is coming up. I always play my first time through blind, so these guys may come out, so it'll be good if I do this. I don't know. I have no idea what the heck is going on. So it's just some flavor text on the front. And then on 2B, it says, when revealed, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a forest location. Okay. And then it says, the stage cannot be defeated unless at least 1 copy of Goblin Trail is in the victory display. So I guess I should look for Goblin Trail. So I'm going to bring this out into play. Okay, so now my staging area is getting, I guess, what we could call location locked. Eventually you get too many locations in your staging area and you can't quest for enough to do anything with it. So I'm going to move this over and try to get through this as quickly as possible. Again, no enemies. I don't have to engage anybody. It would have been really nice to go to the Forest Gate, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to ready. I'm going to raise my threat. Draw a card. I'm going to give everybody a resource. So I can generate a couple of things. I'd love to bring out Gandalf, maybe reduce my threat by a little bit, or maybe even draw some cards. But I have card draw here, so reducing my threat never hurts, especially when I have a good board state like this. So now I'm going to quest. I'm going to quest for 8. I'll bring this out. Oh, these guys. Everybody's favorite enemy from the core set. Okay, so Goblin Sniper. It says, during the encounter phase, enemies cannot optionally engage Goblin Sniper if there's no other enemies in the staging area. Now, there's no other enemies there, but it says, if Goblin Sniper is in the staging area at the end of combat, so this is archery, basically, but it's dealt at the end of the combat phase. And realize that this is archery damage before they had the key term archery, I think. So, because this came out in the core set. So, the only restriction I have is that this guy... Oh, wait. Let me I was just about to not resolve my quest. So it's 2, 4, 6 out there, and I quested for 8. So that means I did 2 progress on the current location. Okay, and now I'm going to engage this guy. The only restriction on him is that I can't optionally engage him if there's other enemies, but there's no other enemies there, so that's good. And if I can get rid of him this turn, I don't have to worry about that silly kind of pseudo archery damage. So I'm going to defend with the minstrel. Okay, there's no shadow effect here, but it's a spider den. Ooh. Yuck. Okay, well, I'm glad I didn't get that location. Okay, and then this guy dies. He has no defense and only one hit point. So he dies, but he's already kind of served out his purpose. Okay, and now I'm actually going to kill him with Legolas, defense for 0, 2 hit points. And so when I do that, I get to draw a card because of Legolas's ability. And what is this? The Long Defeat. I actually really like this card. I played it before, and I like that it's kind of a passive sort of thing to do. So, okay, so I'm going to play this. I don't have anything to heal here for Glorfindel, so whatever. So then I'm going to raise my threat. I better travel through some of these guys, or through some of the locations here before I get truly location locked. So there's 2, 2, and then 2. Then I draw a card. What is this? Khazad Khazad. Okay. So Khazad Khazad is a good panic button. Because I know this guy's coming out, I'm probably going to Khazad Khazad, save the Khazad Khazad for this guy. Just because I feel like that goblin troop is going to be a bear to try to beat. Okay, so what do we do now? I'm going to play 1, and I'm going to put the Long Defeat onto this quest card. Elrond. Elrond's allowed to heal all damage from a hero, discard a condition, or each player draws a card. He's good. I'll keep him out. But what I will do is I will use Gandalf. Okay, I'm going to bring Gandalf out. Okay, now for Gandalf, I'm going to use him to lower my threat by 5. So I was at 32, so I'm going to go down to 27. I do that because I'm using Tactics Lore, and Tactics and Lore typically don't have a lot of threat reduction in them. So, and I just have a bad feeling about this. I don't know why, I just do. So, I'm going to quest for 7 here, and then I'm going to quest for another 4 with Gandalf. Okay? So that's 11 versus 4 in the staging area. And then, look, it's a Goblin Runners, so that's a Surge. Okay, and then I get a Great Spider. Okay, so, yowza. So I'm at 2, 4, 5, 7, and I did 11. So that's 6. So this guy is explored. He's got victory points, so I'm going to put him in the victory display. And it says that when I explore it, it says place 6 progress on the current quest. So I'm going to put 6 progress here. So I only have 6 more progress to go. Now the problem is I have to engage this guy. Okay. Whew. So I will do this. And I don't know what to do. So I guess I'm going to block it with the Peligir ship. Envoy of Peligir. Okay, so 3 it does 3 attack. There's no shadow, so this guy dies. And now, let's see. I need to be able to do 3 damage. So I'm going to do 3 damage with Legolas, killing him, and now I'm able to draw a card. Oh, and Eoriath. Okay. I like Eoriath, healer. Now, I can't do anything. I'm not going to do anything with this guy and engage one at a time. But I'm able to get rid of Gandalf. I'm going to ready a whole bunch of people. So I guess the thing for me to do is to play Eoriath. Okay, healing, that's always good. I would love to play Azine Silverbeard. So I guess what I'll do is I'll take and put out another Pelargir ship captain, and then give this guy a second resource. Okay. So now I'm planning on engaging this guy this round, so now let's see what we can do. I do have a feint just in case I get locked up. I do have a quick strike as well. I have to be able to do 4 damage in order for the quick strike to work. And this guy can do 4 damage because he can do 1 as soon as I'm declared as attacker. So that may be the thing to do there. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'd love to draw a card too with this guy. So okay. Well, I'm going to quest. So that's 2, 5, 7, 8. So I'm going to quest for 8. And right now there's 6 out there. Oh, I forgot to travel last turn. I'm an idiot. Okay, well, whatever. It says the Eves of Mirkwood. It says while the Eves of Mirkwood is the active location, encounter cards cannot be canceled. Okay. So this goes up to 3. So I actually failed to quest because I forgot to travel. Well, it's those little things. I got so excited because of those things coming out. So, so that's 2, 5, 7, 9, and I can't do anything about it. Okay, so now I'm going to travel here. So by traveling there, I get to draw 2 cards. 1, 2. Hey, oh, the Defender of Ramos. Can I just tell you that the Defender of Ramos is one of my favorite cards ever? He's so nice to have in any deck because of his high defense. I mean, yeah, he's got 1 hit point, so there's a lot of things that can pick him off, but that 4 defense is awesome. Okay. So what can I do? This guy's going to come down. I'm going to deal a shadow card. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to feint him. Right there. Feint. It's a good thing, because I didn't have a guy to... It says, when revealed, each must choose to raise your threat... Oh, sorry. Undefended. To discard an ally control, so that's good. It says... I have to exhaust a character I control anyways to engage him, so I'll exhaust Eoriath. Now I will try to attack. I'll attack here and here. I'll do 6, and I will kill this guy and draw a card because of this guy's ability. I'll raise my threat by 1. Make sure that this is reflective. There's only 4 threat in the staging area, and I will draw a card. And look, there's a Dunedain Lookout. So I'm going to do 1. I'm going to put 1, and then I have 2 here to do something with. So I'm going to bring out the Defender of Ramos. He's my fave. And then I will bring out the Dunedain Lookout. Okay, so now this gives me some defense, some attack, some questing, and this is phenomenal for me. I feel like it's a good board state to be in. Anyways, so that's 9. Driven by Shadow, it says each enemy in each location currently gets +1 until the end of the phase, +1 threat. So that's 2, 4, so that's 3, 6. So that's 6. And I quested for 2, 5, 7, 8, 9. So there's this down. So I'm going to put 1 on the active location. So that's, or the active quest. So that's 7. Okay, raise my threat. I'm at 29. Oh, I forgot to travel. Let me travel to the... I'll travel here. And then I'll discard a card at random. Now I have 6 cards in my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to roll 6-sided dice. So I get rid of 3. So 1, 2, 3. I get rid of Elrond. Draw a card. The Galadon Archer. Now the Galadon Archer does 1 damage when I bring him into play. Enters play, which means you pay for him through the act of paying. Here. Okay. So now, what do I want to do? I'm going to pay the 1 to pay the Horn of Gondor. Now, the Horn of Gondor is fun because, well, not fun, but it says every time a character is destroyed, add 1 resource to my hero's resource pool. Okay, so quest. Questing for 9, and there's 2 out here. Goblin Snipers, that's 4. And so, that's 4. That's 3, so that's 7, so this is explored. And then 8, 9, I'm able to do 9. I'm up to 9 on the active quest. So now this, again, the only restriction on this guy is that if there are no other goblins. Well, he is definitely, there are no other goblins in the staging. Oh, I forgot to travel. I'm going to travel to the Eaves of Mirkwood. Okay, and now I'm going to put a shadow card, and there's no other goblins in the staging area. That's why I can engage him. I'm going to defend with the Defender of Ramas. Then it says, choose and exhaust 1 character you control. If this attack was undefended, also deal that character 2 damage. So I'm going to choose this guy to exhaust. It's a good thing I had enough allies to do that. And now I'm going to attack with Legolas. And I attack with Legolas all the time because I want the extra card draw. Okay, so we're going to do this. And now I have the Erebor Hammersmith. Oh my gosh, what are they expecting? Okay, do I have an attachment in my deck even? I don't even think I have an attachment in my deck. I just have events and allies. Resources, raise my threat. So I'm up to 30 now. Draw a card, the Dwerodelf Axe. I like the Dwerodelf Axe. I'm going to spend the 1 to put it onto Thorin. Let me just see, that's restricted and that's restricted. So both my restricted slots are filled up for Thorin. So now I'm going to quest. And I can cancel some stuff and do all sorts of good. So that's 9. And so this is a Goblin Town. So when revealed, discard the top card of each player deck. Okay, so then he gets plus threat equal to the cost of this thing. So that's a quick strike. So he gets 2 threat. And I did 9. So that's 2, 4. And then this means that this is done. So each player either draws 2 cards or heals up to 5 damage. So I'm going to draw 2 cards because I don't have anything with any damage. So that's Daron's Runes and Gildor's Council. I've already played a Daron's Runes this turn, but Gildor's Council doesn't really do anything when you're playing 1 player because it just lowers the amount of cards you reveal during the staging step. And I'm already revealing just 1. So that's kind of a throwaway card. But I just got through this quest. So now, let's see. Boom. 3A is really just a... oh, it's not. When revealed, the first player adds the set-aside Goblin Troop from the staging area. I thought it was all just flavor text. It's a good thing I looked at it. Each other player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Goblin. So there's no other players, so that's good. And then it says, this stage cannot be defeated while Goblin Troop is in play. In this stage, discover the trail of the secret lair. The players win the game. Okay, so that's what's going on here. So now, I don't have to engage this guy. So I'm going to just engage this guy. And then I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to defend with the Defender of Ramas again. And no shadow effect. There's that. There's the spider den. That spider den is whack. Okay, so no shadow effect. Now again, I'm going to use Legolas to kill him. He's got no defense and 3 hit points. So he's dead, and I get to draw a card. And it says, exhaust a dwarf character to place 2 progress on the active location. I don't have an active location. It says 4. Okay, so that's the ancestral knowledge. So the funny thing is this is a dwarfy deck, but it's got no dwarf allies except for, or well, that I see, except for Azine Silverbeard. So I guess it's expecting me to use all the stuff on its heroes, which is fine, but it's just funny how it all works out. So there's 3, 3, 1. I'm going to raise my threat. I'm going to draw a card. I get Lembas, okay, which I knew I had because of the minstrel. I guess I will put out an Erebor Hammersmith, not because I want his ability, but because he can defend. Okay, and then I will play Lembas onto Thorin because that readies him. It's a readying thing on top of healing. So you'll see what I'm going to try to do here, because this guy, I need to do 9 damage to it in 1 turn. So I'm going to see if I can do that 9 damage to it with just Thorin's Stonehelm. I don't know if I can or not, but there's 10. So I'm going to do this. So there's that silly Tangled Grove. And so it allows me to lumber station. So this is 1 and this is 4. So and I quested for 10. So that puts 6 on there. Okay. So now I'm actually going to leave that in the staging area, because the one thing that I want to do is I want to be able to not have to discard a couple cards in my hand. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to engage this guy optionally. Okay. So when I engage that guy optionally, this is the only thing I have to beat here. Okay. I draw that. And so now I'm going to play Khazad, which gives this guy +3. And then I'm going to also then play Quick Strike, if I can find it. Quick Strike. Okay. And then I'm going to Quick Strike this guy to do that. So now this guy has 7 because he's got +3 attack plus the Dwaro Delph Axe. And now I'm going to discard a card because I'm going to declare him as an attacker. And so that does 1 damage. And so I now attacked for 7. Okay. And so now he's at 5 damage, and then the Dwaro Delph Axe does 1 last damage for 6. So this guy dies. No victory. Okay, this fizzles. Oh, see, caught in a web. That's why I was keeping Elrond. Okay. And so, double check. Goblin Troop is out of play, and I had 6 progress. I was able to defeat it using the Lore Tactics deck right out of the box, and apparently the story it goes on to the next quest where I have to go probably into the caves in order to find those those orcs, goblins, to avenge that guy's death. My final threat was 31. Pending a review by Albert. Okay, so that's the scoop. I think I did a good job. Okay, everybody, have a great day.